Kahalalim, all praises to Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, double honors to our elders of Great Millstone, peace and salutations to all the brothers pushing us work in sincerity and in truth. This is Brother Tamarim again from GMS Toronto, coming at you again with another video. Today's video I'm going to be talking about the blackout that happened in Canada, or mainly here in Toronto, in 2003. I was a young, 17-year-old, around that. I think I was 17, yeah, 16, 17, I think. Yeah, I think 17 when this happened. And I think it happened for a week or something like that, a couple of days, like 5 days or so. But I think it made it all the way to New York, right? And it was in the summertime too. It wasn't in the winter. If that had happened in the winter, that would have been a lot of people would have died probably, because over here in Toronto, the winters are super cold, some of the coldest winters in the world. But as a child, as a young man, I remember when this happened, the whole streets would stink. Food that we had in the fridge, we had to throw them out. We couldn't. Some people that had gas stove, they couldn't cook, they couldn't eat, right? Restaurants and all of that, a lot of people lost money. If that had happened in the winter, people would have lost their lives too, right? So let me get a video of 2003 of the blackout, right? And let me see what it says.
With only emergency lights to guide them, commuters rushed to get home. But with subways stalled in mid-run, travelers soon found themselves back outside with only one option: to wait.
What are you gonna do? You have to be patient. What else can you do?
Many tried getting hold of loved ones. Only a few were able to get through.
Just calling to let you know that I'm fine, everything's okay.
Meanwhile, thousands continue to pour out of office towers, some stumbling downstairs in complete darkness for close to an hour.
Just came down from the 39th floor.
I think it's taken us about 45 minutes. Our legs are aching.
Right across the province, power was down, affecting an estimated 10 million people.
When power comes back on, we would ask people to use it sparingly. It will take time to get all the generation reconnected, and that could be up to a couple of days.
In the darkness comes the fear and the question, however irrational.
See that word again? Fear. Right? In the darkness. Esau's getting philosophical. In the darkness comes fear and irrational, man. That's what they just said. And that's what happened when people were panicking. There were people that were stuck in elevators. There were people that were stuck on the subway, right? People stuck in office buildings. So many places that people were like, they had to walk home, a lot of them,
Could this be another September 11th?
You can't allow that. If you allow that, you'll panic when there's nothing.
By early evening.
See, panic and fear. So they thought this happened. They thought this was going to just happen for a couple of hours, but it happened for a couple of days.
Fear turned to anger at Ontario's premier for privatizing hydro.
So if this is what's happening because of brownout, I'm not voting for Ernie Eves. That's for damn sure.
Ontario has had its share of power problems, but the premier blames upstate New York.
They had a problem, and because all the transmission systems are interlinked in northeastern North America for those jurisdictions, it affects everybody, not just the originator of the problem.
But according to energy analysts, the problem is homegrown.
We are cruising for a bruising, that we have a system that is becoming increasingly fragile right here in Ontario, regardless of what our neighbors do.
Emergency crews scrambled throughout the city, rescuing the countless trapped in elevators. This woman was treated after having trouble breathing.
Just calls aren't getting serviced. It's too busy right now, trying to keep up.
Grounded.
Have you received any information yet?
I've received none at all. I've actually just been to the desk to complain now.
Independent market organizers are urging people to turn off their appliances in case of a power surge. And even once power...
That's what's going to happen. Egypt again is going to be smitten with plagues. All right. So let me see. 10 midday, August 14th. Because I was outside, you know. Let me get a scripture. The 10 plagues. 10 plagues in Egypt, KJV. Because this has to happen again. Right? Now, can you imagine all the things that's going to happen when this blackout happens? Because we're preparing for it. You know, we're preparing for another blackout because this is the end of this empire. This is the end of this kingdom. So all the things that happened in the ancient Egypt is going to happen here again. Right? There was a blackout in ancient Egypt for 3 days. Right? And what happened was just darkness, man. The darkness was so thick that you could feel it. Right? Let me get that right now. Moses. No. You know what? I'm not going to waste any time. The plague of darkness. Plague of darkness. This is Exodus 10. I'm just gonna get the King James Version on 10 and 21. Exodus 10 and 21. The Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. Right? You only, you know, when something is so thick, you can feel it. Something that you're supposed to just see, you can't see that. You can't see through darkness, right? But you're gonna feel that darkness. You know, you're gonna feel that there's something's in front of you. That's how dark that place was. And now, like Isaiah 60 said, gross darkness, the people. Now it's a spiritual darkness, but it's gonna get into a physical darkness soon. You know, because Esau, he has to pressure the people. The people has to depend on him, right? They have to want him. They have to need him. So he's going to create problems through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. He's going to create these things like how he just created a virus and have people in fear. He can take away the power in the winter, right? And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. There they saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. So that's going to happen again. But the children of Israel this time is going to be the elect. That's going to not fear that darkness that's coming, because you know what happens in darkness. A lot of people, men, and their deeds, they get wicked. You know, people might get raped. A lot of people might get robbed, right? You know, you never know what can happen, and especially in these times. Let me get Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon, I think. Is it 18? Wisdom of Solomon, darkness of Egypt. Let me see. In Egypt. I think 17. Yeah, 17. So it's Wisdom of Solomon 17. I don't like that version. Of Solomon. Let's get the 17th chapter. And it's going to describe to you how dark this darkness was in Egypt, because these old Egyptians, they had the Lord's people in their crutches, and they were treating them like crap, right? They had us under their feet, man. Just like how now these Edomites, which are the modern day Egyptians, they have us under their feet, right? So let me get started. Let me see how much minutes I'm into. 10 minutes already. Okay. Let me start at 1. I'll start at 2. Nah, I'll start at 1. For great are thy judgments, and cannot be expressed. Therefore, unnurtured soul have erred. For when unrighteous men thought to oppress the holy nation, which you Edomites are unrighteous men, the lowest of all these heathens, they being shut up in their houses, the prisoners of darkness, and fettered with bonds of a long night. Right? That's how this darkness in Egypt made them feel like they had feathers and iron on them. It felt heavy, right? Lay their exile from eternal providence. For a while they're supposed to lie, hiding their secret sins. They were scattered on a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horrible, astonished, and troubled with strange apparitions. So the Lord was plaguing them, and this time we call them ghosts, right? But these are just the demons that the Lord have on the right hand side, on the left hand side, to plague and put hell on the people, man. And it's coming back. For neither might the corner that held them keep them from fear. So see that word? It's coming back again. Fear. Fear. Esau is using fear, but the Lord is going to bring that real fear, and he's going to mock when your fear cometh. But noises as of water falling down sound about them, and shade vision appeared unto them with heavy countenances. No power of the fire might give them light, right? So it doesn't matter how big of a fire that they lit back then, right? All they saw was darkness, and that's very, very dark. That's something that you can feel, and that brings fear upon you, man. Because the Lord had to work a miracle, right? Had to show his power, so to speak. That's the same thing he's going to do over here when the strangeness of our salvation, right? Neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten the horrible night. So those 3 days you couldn't see stars, you couldn't see the moon, you couldn't see sun, nothing. Only there appeared unto them a fire kindled of itself. Very dreadful, for being much terrified. They thought the things which they saw to be worse than the sight they saw not. So they were being plagued. Their minds was playing tricks on them, right? As the illusion of art magic, they were seeing all kind of shit, you know? They were seeing demons. They were seeing probably dead ancestors, you know, people that they knew that died. They were seeing all kind of things. They were hearing things. They were put down, and their wanting in wisdom was reproved with disgrace. For they that promised to drive away terrors, so all their magi's and their witches, right, and troublesome a sick soul was sick themselves of fear, worthy to be laughed at. For though no terrible thing did fear them, yet being scared with beasts and passed by Salakia, and hissing of serpents, right? So they were being tormented, right? They died for fear, denying that they saw that eye, which could of no side be avoided, right? For wickedness condemned by her own witness is very timorous, and being pressed and conscience always forecast grievous things. So this is what happened to ancient Egypt, right? When these Egyptians had us in captivity. So the Lord is going to do that again, right? Because these Egyptians now, which are the Edomites, they have us in captivity, doing whatever they want with us, right? They're putting their concoctions in us. Ultimately, they're gonna want to make the children of Israel and the rest of the world really theirs, right? With their AI, that mark of the beast. Smite Egypt with plagues as before. Second Ezra 15. right? But I will smite Salaki, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So those plagues that was mentioned in Egypt, in the book of Exodus, right? And we all know about those plagues. Even up to this day, they're still mentioned, right? This modern day Egypt, which is America, Canada, Basra, wherever you see Edomites are having people in captivity or where they're ruling, that's Egypt. So the Lord's going to smite you with darkness. He's going to smite you with plagues, diseases, right? Viruses, emeralds, botches, the death of your children, which that's mentioned in the scriptures. All in one day. All in one day. The death of children. Yeah, the loss of children. Loss of children. Proverbs. No, I think it's in Revelation. Is it in Revelation? Let me see what it says. Not therefore kill every man. Nope. Nope. I shall sit as a queen. The death. Salakia. The loss of children. The loss of children. KJV. Isaiah. Yep. I think this is the one. This is Isaiah 47:1. Come sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, which is America, Canada. Sit on the dust, sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, so their hair, which is a shame unto any. That's where you see these Muslim women always cover their hair, right? Make bare the leg, right? So they're gonna strip you. We're gonna strip you. We're also doing that right now by exposing all the things that you do which are unrighteous. Uncover thy thigh, pass over the river. The nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen, which you're seeing right now. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness. Right? And like I said in Isaiah 60, this whole place is in gross darkness spiritually. But like I said, it's going to come to the point where it's going to be a physical darkness. Okay, so this place is Babylon, and it's in darkness. Okay, no one knows who they are. Everyone's groping. They call themselves by different names. That's not the biblical nationality. So many things going on here. So much confusion, right? That's the darkness of this place with all their philosophies, especially our people. O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms. I was wroth with my people, and this is the reason why we're over here. I have polluted my inheritance by giving us into the hands of these Edomites. The Lord did that. And giving them into thine hand, thou didst shew them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. Right. Especially with this virus. A lot of our people are being killed. Right. And that's just me mentioning that right now. We're not even going to mention what they did in the past. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, because they thought this rulership was going to last forever. Now we can see it at its wit's end. Neither didst remember the later of the end of it. Therefore hear now this, thou art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall sit as a widow. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. So here comes. But these things shall come to thee in one moment, in one day. The loss of children, widowhood, they shall come upon thee in in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, for the great abundance of thine enchantment. So, and it goes on. But these Edomites are going to feel this. You 2/3 are going to feel this. Y'all put your faith in this system. Y'all put your faith in the Edomites and not in the faith of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So this is Egypt, and it will be smitten with plagues as before. So shalom.